Alright, Ophiuchus. This is going to be your April monthly tarot card reading for the entirety of April 2025. Collective is already up, so hopefully if this doesn't work for you, that does, or whatever it is that your sign, like traditionally, quote-unquote traditionally, would be. And I can't remember for the life of me what that would be, but I think it's Sagittarius or Capricorn. But then again, I've seen some different dates, so whatever you go by, Ophiuchus. Thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully this gives you some kind of guidance, some kind of input that will help you figure something out. If you have anything to figure out, or just insight, whatever. Dailies are still going up, so keep an eye out for those, and I'm going to draw 5 cards, and we'll just intuitively read through them and see where it goes from there. The first card is the Star, so this is better than getting the 9 of Cups. It really is, because this is fortune shining on you and getting an answer. It's like, if you've been isolating lately too, this is getting the inspiration to move and either utilize that isolation or find your way back onto a path that you can utilize, like in the Hermit. It doesn't mean you have to be moving back towards people or social situations, so definitely don't take it as that, but it is a good card for inspiration. And okay, these are both coming out. And there we go, Hermit. Ace of Swords, the Hermit, new ideas, mental clarity, and if you've been trying to find a way out of what seems to be a dead-end situation, it looks like you're going to find the inspiration to get you moving. This is going to include looking back on what you've done in the past, and this will end up moving you towards financial opportunity. It's not so much something that someone's necessarily going to give you, but something that you've been manifesting for quite a while. So we are going to get these back in frame. I didn't even realize that whenever I did that. And for your final card is going to be this one. If you've been facing a lot of mental or emotional blocks lately, it looks like your spirit is going to be able to make that change and move into a place of inspiration, finding answers where there were none before, finding the mental clarity to be able to utilize this information, whether it's coming from yourself, your shadow side, your higher spiritual self. Wherever these answers are coming from, it looks like you're going to be able to utilize them and utilize them to propel you forward. I know the Hermit is looking back and the Star is really looking back. There is a potential for this being something that you've had all along, or that you were unaware of that you had. The Hermit is also looking towards the past, but he's doing so in order to figure something out. What can I take from this past situation, and how can I utilize it to manifest what it is that I've been looking for, rather than waiting for it to come find you. Ophiuchus, this is very, very good right now, and I see no reason to be worried too much. However, I'm going to pull a couple of cards to see what it is you could look out for, because this is really good. And even though it looks like there may be some self-isolation going on in order for you to find this, you may be pulling your energy away from something that you invested in the past, hoping that it would bring you something, that it would net you some either credit or spiritual credit, good karma, maybe even a paycheck, and you got screwed out of it. This could be being mailed your mailed a paycheck that you were denied previously. What does Ophiuchus need to be on the lookout for this month? Yeah, so with the Hermit being that central card there in the middle, it may be difficult for you to stay moving. Even once you get that momentum going, it's like, well, do I have to go back to this and deal with this? Is this going to be a problem? I think you need to not look at things as though they could be a problem and they won't be. Keeping that energy around you is not, or in your immediate influence, is going to cause it to keep you behind, keep you stuck in that same position. It does look as though you have a few good relationships or situations, jobs, whatever this is, that you can put to rest and just let it stay there. You don't need to keep waking it up and seeing if it's okay, if it wants your attention now, if you can do anything for it, if you could. This may even be a romantic relationship that you're looking back at like, we had so much potential, but nothing happened with that. Nothing was missing, nothing was, and this has to do with any of the things from the past that you may be focusing on too, but it had potential, it just didn't go where it seems like it should have gone, and why? Because it wasn't meant to. Even if you put the work in, even if the other person was putting the work in, you were working as a team, you were doing everything you were supposed to, it just wasn't meant for you, just like the chair is not meant for Nebs right now. Sit, kitty. And, it's like she used that as a as a summoning, like, I need to go look back at things that weren't meant for me before, because really it worked out, but I don't know. I think I want to try it again. And that might be what you're trying to do, Ophiuchus, that it still looks like a good opportunity. It looks like a good situation for you to try and involve yourself in, but it's not working out. Or it didn't work out before, and you keep looking at it. Stop looking at it. This is literally a knight buried in his sarcophagus, his tomb, his whatever. I cannot find the word for it. It's like a effigy, but it's on top of a stone casket, whatever. You guys get the point. It's right there in the picture. Point is, he's dead in there. And yes, he did some things, and he earned some honor, he earned some accreditation while he was alive, but going back to this is not going to bring him back and give him more opportunity to do more with that. He's done everything he can, and this is it. So move on. It is a good page marker for you, though, like that. I don't have to leave everything in. And I'm not saying that you're an agent of chaos either, Ophiuchus. I think this is just really you may be used to things ending on a bad note, or it being like suddenly finalized, and there's some things that ended on a good note, and you're like, well, I need to go wring more out of that. I feel like I'm leaving something behind, and you're not. You're leaving it to its own potential to develop, or you're utilizing it as an example of, this is how good things can be, and this is how things can end without them ending bad. We also have the Six of Cups, it's not the Six of Cups, it's the Six of Pentacles. So giving and receiving, and it may be that you feel like you've been given either chance or opportunity or even finances, and oddly enough, it feels like you don't have a debt somewhere, but you're still trying to pay off a debt that you don't have. either by action or by finances, something like that. And maybe that's what you need to leave behind and just move on. Like, that was great. And you don't need to keep repaying into the same thing over and over again. Because eventually it's going to start taking advantage of you. And relying on you. Whenever you are ready to walk away from it, it becomes too self-reliant on you to be able to do that in good conscience. And right now, it seems like you have some things that you can walk away from in good conscience right now. If that's not the case, and it's not something like you feel like you have to keep giving money or time or whatever to something from the past, you may feel like you have to go back and share the wealth of knowledge, like practical skill, practical things to know. And you may be trying to give this to people who don't want it or don't need it or don't think that they need it. Now, I do want to say that the scales that the person in the center of the Six of Cups, I almost said Six of Cups again, Six of Pentacles here, it's, as I set the bed on fire, they're evened out. I think maybe you've given enough to a situation and it is time for you to start feeding into these manifestations and allowing them to evolve. But you have to stop focusing so much on what you did and what you took or what you utilized in the past and start building a new avenue, not just for yourself, because I think other people at some point will be able to take advantage of this, because it seems as though you are growing practical, hands-on knowledge and experience that you can share with other people that they will value and that they can in turn turn into value. So Ophiuchus, I will be doing a mid-month. I should be doing a mid-month, and please keep an eye out for that. Remember to check your sun, moon, and rising, or your standard sign, whatever it is, and check the collective reading if you need some more clarification. I will still be doing the dailies, as I said before, and please ensure that you like and subscribe if you are not already subscribed. We have finally hit 300, and thank you guys very, very much for all of your time and involvement in the channel. I know I had quite a few Ophiuchus whenever I first started this, and they were my main source of watch time, I think. So thank you guys again, and hopefully I will be able to figure out what I want to do for like a celebratory thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do like a free reading or something like that, but if you have any suggestions for that, please drop it in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.